my special guest for the second time around, Warren, Uncle Warren from Extra Bulla.
What's up, buddy?
Say hi, everyone. Kids at home.
Huh?
Hopefully
Hi,
this stream won't be DMCA'd like last time. That would be nice. We're gonna try to not have that. So, Warren, if you could just not sing or do any impressions that are actually good, that can get like pulled.
I don't know if that's possible. I'll try and muddy it up a little bit, but I can't make any promises.
Well, today's been big day for our fam. We've had, new people being our direct enemies, Haas. So that's fun. I don't know if he can compete with our humor either, but he's gonna try. But because of friend of the show, Tara decided to put out another friend of ours, dissident leftist and stuff. I think he just wants to be called Dissident now, if I'm not mistaken. But
the Dissident, yeah, I believe so.
So
he rebranded, or they rebranded, yeah.
But yeah, General Strikes Summit's been happening now for like the last 8 hours, it seems. It's like one of those old school. Yeah, they need like Bob Barker.
They started at 10 this morning.
Yeah, like taking phone calls.
12 hours.
Yeah, I've been there on those long haul streams. Those are rough. But luckily they kind of switched out, looked like, and got some other people. But I know Bess was on. She was on Millennial Splain on Twitter. You should go check her out. She was on with the Crafties and the Red Berets. So, go grab one of those black roses from her. Those are pretty cool. There was who else was there today? Some crazy it was great streams all around. You had like Nico with Bree and Afeni and Sabs, Jay, all those cats were killing. So
yeah, they had I was watching this morning, and they had Professor Zenkus was on there. He's always a good cat to talk to as well. I think there's a few more of our Indie News Network pals. Yeah, they're going to be on tomorrow and Sunday.
Yeah, too. Indie's going on Sunday. Who's going on tomorrow? We have Blue Moon, I think, and Lucy going. Lucy and was Rob there or no? Do you remember?
I'm not sure.
This is why we shouldn't smoke too much weed,
and drink too on my part, because I gotta say, I started a little early tonight. I was hanging out doing some stuff here, and I said, well, I'm gonna have some more of that delicious vodka I had last night. I gotta tell you, last night I was drinking, and I had a great time with Franco from Frank Analysis on my show last night. Yeah, shout out to Franco. Everybody go subscribe to him if you haven't done so already. Yeah, he's on YouTube, Rockfin, Odyssey, The Moon. He's like everywhere. He's like Visa, and but this morning I thought, oh God, the Piper's gonna come and do the little jackhammer on the head. But no, when you drink really good alcohol, you tend to not have you have very little to no hangover. But if you're drinking that garbage, yeah, you go wish you was dead. So but I got up this morning and I watched some of the
shout out to them. I saw them doing their videos and stuff. I'm sure they'd love to go call out Haas for some other stuff. But yeah,
and what's her name? Formerly Suki's mom today.
Oh God, I know.
Suki Claus or whatever. I mean, why? It's okay.
She was the one, wasn't she the one that was like, there should be some free, public prostitution, sex worker thing, that should be part of the revolution, that there should be some, I think that was her, that there should be some government funded prostitution thing, but and everyone kind of called her out on it, that's probably not good. you know, something or other. There was some.
Well,
she's definitely put her foot in it a few times. So
her and like, you know, Haas and that Owen Higgins guy, they were all crapping on people that were actually doing stuff online. That's why I was talking to Franco last night. We were saying, like, I think some of those people think that they were going to do a general strike on a live stream, which is kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know, that's the thing. People don't communicate, which communication is a huge part of organizing. It's pretty much the backbone of everything. You don't have communication.
Yeah.
You know, and these people, you know, they don't listen. So,
well, it's also like, feel free to send those complaints in, because someone is sitting there with their pad and pencil going, all right, what do we don't have? Yep, cool. Like, yeah, of course they're gonna, like, you know, like Haas wants to make it seem you send 160,000 for one. Why was that not a match bet? Right? You match whatever your chat made, because I know you've got the bankroll. Feel free to just match it and send that to. Also, where did he send it to? The strike fund, whatever, like your nonprofit. Like, I'm sure that's on the up and up, right? Like, I'd rather give like that money to Afeni directly and have her get water for people, like, and have her just tell all the people she brings water to like, you know, like, here, join we're gonna do a strike next, you know, Friday, like, whatever, right? Like, those, like, between Rome and Afeni being out there, you know, like, so that's what's crazy to me, is like, they're smart enough. There's so many smart people in FHL that, like, yeah, they're gonna do the right thing, like, you know, and they're gonna make sure that they do. You know, Rome was talking about nonprofits and stuff, and how, you know, I know Sabs talked about how terrible nonprofits are today, right? In some respects, right? And in others, like, it's all about where that money goes to and what's actually happening and how transparent things are and all that stuff, which is pretty much like Rome's point, is like, why do we even have to file to be that if I'm going to do better, you know? Like, it's all just like, just send me your dollar bills and envelopes and I'll, you know, do better with it. Like, so, but it was just, you know, eventful day for that kind of stuff. They were all spitting fire over there, and I thought we'd shout them out. You know, I gave some money to their strike war chest, so, you know, I think everyone's ready for that. I saw Rome light up a nicely rolled J during it, you know, so that was fun. So I love just how he just, like, stops and, like, you know, lights up. I'm like, yep, I appreciate somebody just, like, not having that stigma, you know, that just is like, yeah, I'm just gonna roll a big fatty and no one can tell me otherwise. Like, you know. And then he spits fire.
There seems to be more of a
high,
comfort level with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know.
Yeah.
Which I hope that that trend spreads quickly.
Yeah.
You know.
They had the disability stream with, like, you know, Jay came on that and a bunch of other folks and stuff, and they talked about their struggles, and it was just all super good. And it was essentially all how, like, how do we all benefit from a, you know, general strike and that kind of stuff. So, you know, I thought it was great. We had 2 more days of it, so I'm super happy. But
yeah, they're putting out quality information too, and it's like these haters that are shitting on it. It's like, why would you? It's not like they're grifting or anything. It's almost like a seminar on the information that you need for a general strike. You know, I found it to be quite informative. I learned a couple of things that I didn't know before, and I can't, you know, and that's the point of it. You know, so a lot of people just, they don't know, they hear general strike, but they think it's just people, you know, going in a circle with a picket sign in their hand out in front of something. You know, that's their idea of strike, and it's not. They don't understand there's several layers to it. It's in order to be successful, and you know, so that's what they're trying to achieve, is trying to educate people on that.
Yep. You know, I think some of the stuff, like, you know, I would like to see that kind of stuff happening even with strikes. I tend to think, like, how do we get that to actually have change happen? You know, that's something to think about, is like how to get that activism and stuff to do what you want it to do. right? Like, because we have systemic change to change as well. So, you know, I would love to get every, you know, CEO and whatever afraid of their workers and actually do shit for them. But, you know, we also have the other systems that are broken. How do we fix those? Right? So, you know, but anyway, I do have some stuff for us that we're not just, you know, trying to figure out what to talk about, but I had to pull down the entire browser of stuff that I grabbed, with like 90 tabs.
Holy, that's a lot of tabs.
Yeah. And
I haven't seen that many tabs since the 1970s refrigerator.
I know, right? I had to also like this and close all these other ones that I don't need to be in. Right? You know, the summit, where I was pulling them from. But, so aren't you super happy that, let me switch to the presentation, presentation screen. I gotta have OBS back up. And then we're gonna move that to the bottom.
Presentation screen.
You know the command to move a thing to the next monitor? It's Control-Win-X, in case you were wondering. Then this one. There we go. So this one I found on. These are all from Our Funny this week. So YouTube removes dislike button. Fine, and then down under it, I'll do it myself. Just dislike as a comment, and I hope people do more of that because that's great. Just dislike, you know.
Yeah, you got like a shit ton of comments, and they all say dislike. Dislike.
Yep. I would be that would be worse, wouldn't it? Wouldn't that be worse? Like, you know.
Well, yeah, your whole fucking comment section is just full of the word dislike by like, you know, 80,000 people or something.
Yeah, it would be like, it'd be crazy. Why did they think that was like, who wanted that? Tell me who wanted that. You know, like that's what I don't understand is like who wanted YouTube to remove that? What little brat told their CEO father that like that was a good move? You know, like
that CEO brat who, you know, knows people once popular streamers who are now losing subs and you know, views left and right. You know, that you know, why do they keep disliking my shit? Let's not show that, you know. Because the ratios, oh my god, right?
Yeah, I don't have. Hold on, I had to add that real quick. So let me add browser, and then add chat, add existing. Click OK. Where should it go?
Yeah, invalid arg. I do have the bridge of the Enterprise behind me because one day I am going into space. I feel spacey right now. Not Kevin Spacey, because that's gross. But
radical leftist agenda says so that they don't want to show that dislikes to sway media decisions. Yeah, I mean,
right.
Like it's of course it's, you know, they say it's to protect the smaller streamer, right? And like, you know,
that's bullshit. If they wanted to protect the smaller streamer, they quit suppressing them. That would be nice.
Yeah.
Maybe stop doing that instead of like these little parlor tricks of, you know, hiding dislikes and shit.
Yeah. Like, you know.
That's redunculous.
Shout out Indie Left News who's here. What's up, bro?
Indeed, what's up?
You know, but let me look at our next one. What do we got next? Right?
Hey, officer,
this one.
Would you like to buy some marijuana?
I gotta go.
I'm thinking maybe $40.
You need a bag. Hey,
well,
hey. What's in your hands?
There's nothing in my hands.
What's in your
officer.
hands?
Nothing. I
Open
swear.
your hands.
All right.
Right? I wish I had that magic skill. There's one I've seen of this that like doesn't go well. You know. Like,
really?
Would you like to buy some weed, officer? Like, show me your hand. Like, just like gets him up against the wall and crap. Like, there's one of these that don't go that well, but that one's good. I do like that one. But like, have you ever had to like run in with police and weed in that regard? Like, you know, you got to like throw some shit out windows. you know?
One time, I was over at a friend's house. Okay, so I'm gonna try and make this a short story. So I worked at a TV station, right? And I had bought an old news car. They took like the, you know, all the labels and stuff off of it, right?
Yeah.
But it's small town, and the cops knew that car was like a news car, right?
Yeah.
So I was over at a buddy's house, got just baked as a cake. And me and 3 other guys were going across town. We got pulled over and it was like foggy. And I was driving like really slow, you know, because A, I was stoned, and B, it was very foggy. And so the cop comes over and he's like, "What are you guys doing?" And I said, "Oh yeah, we were on a news story over in Alabama, and we're just getting back." And he said, "Why are your eyes so red?" I said, "Well, we've been out in the field all day. You know, and I haven't gotten any sleep, and I just got to get this footage back to the station, and I just want to go to bed." And he's like, "All right, okay, so good luck to you." And then, you know, I was got sweat off the brow and poopies out them drawers. But in North Mississippi, though, they wouldn't really. Basically, what they would do is probably just take your weed and send you on your way. Yeah. And then the cop would either smoke the weed, or he would probably more than likely just sell it, because that's what the cops in North Mississippi do.
Yeah, definitely.
They take your shit and sell it.
Yeah, like mom around there used to know a park ranger who would like bust every kid for selling weed ever, right? You know, he was like a state park cop, right? And then like, but he'd be selling shine at the back of his, you know, like cruiser, you know, which is like, that's such a baller move, like. Yeah, I'm the cop, and I'm the one selling the shine, like, you know. So, but
well, my dad knew back in the 70s. My dad knew the sheriff of Stone County,
right?
And the sheriff was running a marijuana farm out in the county. So you know, it was like he was the one who controlled that area. And eventually, like 20 years later, he got found out. But you know, by that time, he'd already retired and shit. So, you know, not off of the sheriff pension, that's for sure.
Yeah.
It was pretty funny. It's just so funny how that works out in small towns like that. You know, it's just, you know, everybody, you know, everything is going on. And then everybody's just like, you know, that's just the way it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, you know, I find it funny, you know, it's now, and we'll get to a bit of this. I think I have some stuff on this later, but you know, with the whole legalization movement as well, including those people who are locked up, you know, like right now, Florida, which is where I live, you know, we recently legalized medical, right? So the issue is that they've included a funny little clause in there that makes sure that you have to have what they call vertical integration, right? Which means that you have to you have to own every part of the business, right? You have to own, you know, your shipping and your grow and your testing and your storefront. You have to own all that, right? Before they give you a license, right? So you have to be able to like vertically integrate, right? So what it does is it keeps the rich folk able to like invest in these businesses because they have the, you know, capital to, and all the people who actually would benefit have to scrounge for the minimum wage jobs they offer, right? So, you know, it's one of those things again of like, I'd rather, you know, Steve down the street who's been growing in his backyard be able to like, you know, sell his out of a pickup truck on the side of the road like it's watermelon, you know, and so, but, and that's what I'm waiting for, where it's just like the guy who like will break you off a piece of nug and be like, you want to smell? Is delicious, right? Like, that's what I want. Like, I want the guy's like $5 like, crate, like, you know.
the roadside fruit stands you see with the fucked up signs. You got one that says weed with like 5 E's.
5 E's, yeah.
And weed. Yeah, you're like, you ain't seen nothing till you see my weed.
I know, right? But that will be like he'll have found some chemical to throw in there, and it's, you know, just better somehow. Like, like it's just refreshing. Like
Roundup.
yeah,
DDT
something
or
good. Yeah.
Something had the shed. Oh yeah.
Why is it spicy? Like, just, like, oh, don't worry about that.
Is this Cholula? You
Cholula?
put like Cholula in this shit? What
Hey,
the hell,
man.
man?
Cholula is delicious, man. Like,
It enhances those mids to highs. And it gives you more like of an earthy type of but yet with a little flavor to it, and then and there's some time travel involved too. What? What kind of weed is this?
Right?
You giving me time travel weed?
Speaking of weed, Snoop Dogg was on Joe Rogan today, so I had to check that out.
Really?
So, yeah, that's gonna have some good stuff in there, I'm betting. But I saw a fucking article today, and it was so the weirdest. It's like, Joe Rogan brags about flexibility, says he can suck his own dick. That's that. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, how is that a headline? It was like New York Post. Like, what? Next, you're gonna say he took out 3 ribs to do it, and he learned it from like Marilyn Manson. Like, Look,
I got no love for the New York Times, but and the New York Post is mostly like a conservative rag around here, but sometimes they just have the wildest fucking stories. They're like almost the Weekly World News. Yeah. Right? They're just so close. If they only had like Bat Boy, that kid, yeah, they'd cross over into Alex Jones territory, but they're skating that line. They're skating that line,
Yeah, like I love it.
Self-man.
All right, what's our next little video treat? Please tell me it's this one. Yes, cool. I'm figuring out how to click the buttons, right? And then we go.
Not many of you know, but Patrick was actually one of the first people to have COVID. He hasn't had taste for 6 years now.
Like, what'd she say?
She said, like, he was one of the first ones to have COVID, right? He hasn't had taste for 6 years now. At the wedding. Like, just at, like, what? Like, anyway.
Tiss.
Dude, wedding jokes are the best jokes. Like, just because, like, everyone thinks they're gonna go super hard and then they just don't, and then the ones that do land are like, are crazy. But
yeah, probably got loosened up by a little bit of the refreshments.
This must be one of your cousins, right? He built him a new ride. Whee!
What the shit?
I love this thing. Like,
he's at the county fair on the tilt-a-whirl.
Like, what are they doing out here? Like,
what do they call that? They call that what is that? Is that like a old bush hog or something that they converted into like a county fair ride?
Well, it's like an old like fertilizer spreader or something that they've got like a chair on. Dude, I feel like he's gonna get like a whiplash. Like he starts spinning like way fast, like like just that. That's, like,
if you don't get into NASA, that's how you train.
This is like
for
Mississippi's. Yeah, this is Mississippi's like astronaut program. Like, go on, Cletus, you go down in there. Take you up. They have this.
They have a Stennis Space Center down there. I think in Kiln. I think it's down by there. I'm pretty sure they got. That's probably where that is. They're at the Stennis Space Center.
Everyone
but they had budget cuts.
Talks slightly German. No, like yeah. Yeah.
There was no paper clips or projects.
No paper clips, no. As in Mississippi, yeah. Like, I love that little neck. Like, I know which spot you're talking about. There's the whole Decatur, right? Decatur's that way too, isn't it? Where it's like, I'm trying to remember, there's the other place with like the big, where they build parts of the rocket and stuff. And then all the Germans we stole from Paperclip, were like put over there in the middle of like Alabama, like Mississippi, Nowheresville. There's the one in Mississippi that does the rocket tests. I know that place. Right? That's over there where you're talking about.
That's Stennis, yeah.
It's where everyone talks like this. You know,
we want to know about these ham hocks you're talking about. Yes, the ham hocks.
Yeah.
I will try one ham hock.
People in the, I do find it funny, like all the you know, forgive my French, but the Yankees, those Yankees, they don't know nothing about like ham hock, turkey neck, turkey leg, like, you know, or even better yet, pickled ham hock. That's where people really start to get like, what do you mean?
Oh, I've never had pickled ham hock.
In Japan,
I've heard of it, but I've never had that.
In Japan, they'll take a ham hock, they'll cover it in mayonnaise, bread it, and then deep fat fry it. Like,
ooh,
yeah,
ooh,
and then give you that.
That sounds good, actually.
It like,
yeah,
that's with all the gelatinous weird ham hockey stuff, like just in there, and you like gotta like scoop out stuff, and you know, but
there's not that much meat on a ham hock.
No,
but the meat that is on there is probably like the best ham you'll ever eat. It's just like so tender, it's delicious, and I don't know, the fact that it's in some sort of joint, you know, like biological joint, that it manages to have that flavor, but
oh no,
so good.
Why has it done this?
What happened?
This is Bong Cam got too high. Why?
Technical difficulties.
It does look like the old. It's just that. Why is that one? Like, I don't understand. It's been doing this. Some Ninja OBS had like some update or something, and now it's like janky nonsense. But yeah, like I do find it funny how much, like, I've talked about this forever about my Southern ramen idea, and how, like, because of, you know, the South is hot and like humid, and like food, like preservation was important down here, right? So that's why you have things like country ham, and, you know, like we will ferment things here. That's why we have lots of liquor too, because what are you going to do with all that corn that you don't, you know, you're not going to like eat? Well, that turns into whiskey. But
yeah,
you know, somebody's making so, but that's been like, that's partly why we had the prohibition, right? Was because what happened was that all the grain people, like in the United States, started switching over because they can make their own stills and they can distill their own like high grain alcohol, right? Versus like letting it ferment and making a you know, I think I'll call it a wort, and then turn that into beer or cider or whatever, right? So, and they'd have a big jug of that somewhere, you know, like on the front porch, and everyone would go, you know, little Timmy would go over there and drink him a couple of, you know, like, so it was safe to drink that, right? And everyone drank it like water because that's what they drank instead of water, you know? So
yeah,
like, and then what happened was that there was now an abundance of high grain liquor, and then, you know, a bunch of terrible men started beating their wives, and then the temperance movement came out of that, right? So, you know, you also had AA come out of that, which was like weird, like that's why there was a bunch of religious stuff attached to it at the time, right? Because religious stuff was also attached to, like, you know, the you know, anti-slavery and the civil rights movement. Then at that time, like that temperance and stuff kind of go. You had what's her name, Hatchet, Harriet or whatever, come in and break all
Harriet
the booze
Tubman,
bottles.
yeah.
Well, there was also, you also had the Germans came over and brought their like beer, right? And they were going up to the mountains.
Thank you,
and making
Germans.
Coors and Anheuser, right? And then they would have like, you'd have the Schlitz sponsored bar, right? And all the men would go out after work, you know, because they were overworked and terrible conditions. They'd go get drunk, right? And then, you know, so that's like, then you have prohibition because of that, right? You know, there's a Ken Burns documentary about it that everyone should go watch, where it's like, I mean, it's if you can stay awake for Ken Burns, because Jesus, he just does not know how to make something exciting. It's very interesting.
Yeah,
but you're
don't
definitely
watch.
like, oh, like it's like indica.
Don't watch that
show.
shit late at night. Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
but
You're
it's like indica
it's
as
like
a show. You know,
like watching 2001 at like 11 or 12 at midnight. And you're just like, oh god,
still broken. Yeah, right.
Yeah, you don't want. Yeah, you got to pick your times right for some of these movies and stuff. What is going on? Why is that? Is that the time travel? Did you go back to the 70s?
Bong Cam to work, right? And like
I know it's like Bong Cam went back to the 70s with the vertical hold.
Vertical, yeah. It's like no, it's like a CRT got too warm, you know. Like,
right.
Let me go in and check my like OBS here. I probably just have to like go into these properties and like refresh the cache here and see if that helps. No, didn't look like it did. Let's try this.
I don't know that. That looks like an actual camera problem.
Yeah, it's not.
Because somebody was having trouble. Somebody was having that same issue the other day, and I can't remember who it was, but yeah, there was like they had to. I think it may have been Steve on Slow News Day. I think he had to do something like unplug that, or maybe no, was it Noli? Maybe Noli D on her show.
It's just it's something
like that. Somebody's doing it.
Ninja OBS is.
I didn't imagine it.
Like let's try that. Did that give me anything? Please. Let's refresh cache per page real quick. See if that gave me anything. No. Why? Whatever. I'll mess with it later. Phone cam's not that important. But
it is, but it isn't. Yeah,
right?
it's. I know what you're saying.
But
what happened?
I'm going back to the. I gotta go out of studio mode, so I'm in the right thing. There. And then we'll go back to our presentation. But what do I have now? This is never do your best, quit. This is my like I want this shirt. Just quit. Just don't do it. Don't. Why? Just can't we just like smoke weed? Not like. I love this. I love that this is a shirt. Like, anyway, but
I would totally get that shirt.
Do you know where the term cock came from? It's because of this apparently. So,
Jesus, I was about to say that is one phallic foul.
Have you ever, dude?
It's foul.
I've been attacked by so many roosters. It's not even funny. Like roosters are just the worst. You know,
they're assholes.
They really are. Like
hens are great.
Crazy.
They're just sweet. You know, they just they peck at the ground. You know, they eat their corners up, and all of a sudden a fucking rooster comes up there like,
dude, it's awful. You ever seen? You know what's worse? A gander. Geese are like male geese are like the worst. Like they terrorize children, and you know, like.
That's actually kind of funny, but no, yeah. Have you seen those videos of like geese like chasing grown-ass people around parks and stuff? Yeah.
There's places in like England because they have like royal geese and stuff. Places, right? Like they have like danger ganders, like as a sign somewhere, like you know, like please be aware that there's an asshole bird somewhere. Like, you ever heard of swamp chicken?
Well, it's a good thing. Swamp chicken?
Swamp chicken.
No.
Okay, so this is a Florida thing, but so what happens in Florida a lot is people like, especially around Miami, right? You know, rich folk feel like they need some exotic animal, right? And they'll get like an anaconda, and then they're like, I don't know what to do with this, right? So like the drummer for Whitesnake will take that and then like do a couple lines of coke and then take that out to the Everglades and just like drop that somewhere, right? So do you remember those commercials? You will probably actually remember these for like ostrich farms. They were like, buy your pack of ostrich today and like you could get cool ostrich meat. Like Anyway, well, people in Florida decided to do so. You know, so what happened is that no one wanted to eat ostrich, so they, you know, they didn't know what to do with it. They weren't making money, like whatever. So they put it out in the swamp. Well, what happened was that the ostrich figured out this is like the perfect environment for them. It's like they're giant, like 6 foot, 8 foot tall things with like big, like webbed feet, like big giant like feet, so that they can like, it's literally a grass. They can like run in the, like, dude, I've been on like in an airboat, right, with one, and they're like territorial as shit, and they can straight up murder you. Like they'll just bonk you on the head, like, and like there's a famous Kevin Hart bit that I feel like I'm the only person who might have even knows what he's talking about, right? But he talks about like you see, the ostrich was like pointed this way and running in this direction, but looking at us the whole time, like, but his head was right here, like, you know, and it's just like, they're just, I mean, you would think that they're just like, you know, like Usain Bolting across the swamp. Like they run at like 60 miles an hour. It's nuts. Right. And you're like,
yeah, they're fast as fuck.
I hope this airboat is going to keep this speed up, because I don't want this thing catching me. But yeah, they like breed like rabbits. So there was like a ton of them over there, just big swamp chickens. You'll just see an ostrich in the middle of the swamp. Like, oh, cool. Big bird. Big bird's here. You know? So I don't think those have gotten the jab, though. Those big birds. I don't think those birds did. You know? So...
Well, we've got to hate them then, and that's why they're in the swamp, away from ostrich society, because
they're Trump loving
they
big birds. Like they like it. They voted for Trump. They got red hats on and everything. Like
the little ostrich hats that says "Make America Great Again."
It's like, you know, they hate
hats.
They hate everybody.
What?
Like,
oh, that looks like a straight up dick. Man, can you imagine? But that dick is in need of a circumcision. We need a moil stat.
Yeah,
because that penis, that don't look like a fireman's helmet to me.
No,
I mean, I've been drinking a little bit, but that ain't.
Also,
no
I feel like
helmet.
some lotion needs to be involved, because that's pretty red. You know,
I like the guy in the back, the bird, the rooster in the back, or the
like,
hen
what's up?
in the back, or whatever
like,
it is.
What's up?
Like, what the fuck is this? You see cockface over here? You cock
like,
balls in front of me? What the fuck, man? Maybe that's that rooster's a porn star in their world, you know? So he's like the John Holmes of cocks, of chicken cock. You know what I mean? Right. Ironically, the chicken's actual penis, though, probably not that big.
No. So what do we got next? What do we got next?
What happened?
So make instant contact with UFOs and aliens. You just buy that at the bodega, you know? Get you some chemically changing your carbon vibration. I love these.
Are those mushrooms?
Yeah.
It's just mushrooms, right?
Yep. like just add water.
You'll see aliens.
I love that this is like, I love the packaging with like, it's so good.
Yeah.
But
apparently that's the uniform, the flannel uniform you got to wear to
see
make
aliens.
contact with the aliens. That's it. You ever seen that movie Fire in the Sky?
Fire in the Sky.
Walton got Fire in the Sky, man. Travis Walton, I think he was in Arizona and he got took up. They were a bunch of loggers, and they were coming home. There was like, it was in one of those crew cab things. There was like 6 people, and they see these lights and shit. And Travis Walton gets out of the truck and it's like, what the fuck's this? And the thing zaps him, and like, they think he's dead, and they drive off, but then they're like, fuck, we got to go back and get him. They go back and he was gone. And then like 5 days later, they found him naked at some like gas station in the middle of the night.
Oh, look at these graphics. Story. Look at these vector graphics in here. Like, we got all the chakras. He's got your root chakra and stuff. Great. You know.
Fire in the sky. Not like
Just
fire in the hole.
Just like Xanadu.
Yeah, there he is.
Isn't that the guy from like Men in Black, the roach guy? No?
Probably. That's DB Sweeney. Yeah, DB Sweeney. That's a dude. If you like horror stories, that works too with this, because this movie is like, it's almost 20. What shit? It's almost 30 years old. Jesus.
Do you know Red Letter Media? Do you watch their stuff at all? They do like movie
I've heard of
reviews
them.
and
I haven't
stuff. They've done like we'll watch a few of their best of the worst at some point. They're pretty good. They just go through like all these B movies and like terrible horror movies and like, you know, sci-fi movies that were made on shoestring budgets and stuff like that. Like, but they
Some
do
Ed Wood shit.
They did, yeah. Like, oh, they literally like did a review on Ed Wood not that long ago too. But they looked at
Nice.
Recently their last review was on Enemy Mine. You remember that movie? With like yeah.
Lou Gossett Jr.
Yeah.
And what's his name? Not the crazy brother. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
Who's the one that's shitter's full? What's his name? Randy Quaid. That's
Randy
Dennis
Quaid.
Quaid. That's right.
This is the other Quaid, yeah.
The shitter was full.
Yeah, like how much does he look like Kirkland brand Harrison Ford though? You know, like look at this alien. Like look at this.
Him?
What is this? Yeah. What is this?
That's Lou Gossett Jr., man.
No, pew.
That's officer and a gentleman right there. Come lift us up where we belong.
Do you remember, like?
Sorry.
No, it's fine.
I've seen that. This is a great movie.
Yeah, well, it's
kind of a sad movie.
It's
a good movie.
What is it? It's the Gorn, isn't it? It's just the Star Trek.
Kind of, yeah.
Right. It's like Gorn is pretty much this. Right.
When the walls fell.
Well, that's also, but that's
was it.
No, that's
no, you're talking about original. You're talking about the original
right?
series.
With like
they look
the
like
big lizard dude. Yeah, that guy. Lizard
okay,
people.
yeah.
But like, it's essentially based off a book. The book is called Enemy Mine, right? I think it's. I want to say Heinlein. But
was it Robert Heinlein? Yeah,
I want to say
it
or
is.
like Asimov or whatever. It's like Heinlein's one of Heinlein's shorts, maybe. I can look it up. Like.
I'm doing that right now. You don't worry about that, mister. I got you covered. Oh, it's actually by Barry B. Longyear.
Longyear. Yeah. But it's part of Asimov's
I've never heard of him.
Thing, I think. But like it was originally published in Asimov's science fiction mag. So that's where it comes from. But I mean, I know Star Trek has used it like a ton. There's the Geordi LaForge episode with the Romulan, right? Where they're both like on, you know, we got to help, you know, like, I know you're my enemy. Like, you know,
we got to work together to get out of this shit thing.
You know, classically, Danak and Tanagra, you know, what is it?
When the walls fell.
When the walls fell. Shaka, when the walls fell.
Shaka.
Yeah, did you ever hear somebody did a review of that like episode and it was like, this episode makes no sense. Like how do they talk about like when the warp core is gonna fucking explode? Like fucking Steve when he went big boom. Like what? Like you can't, you know, like that. You can't have like the whole point of the episode
fresh
is for people who haven't
tomatoes
seen it.
in season.
In season, like, yeah, it's like that's you're it's essentially apparently someone said like, yeah, they speak in meme. Like that would be like us going like fucking, you know, like sad panda, just like, you know, everyone only knows like, but it's supposed to be like what they had like one story.
Science, you trust the TV. Yeah.
But I loved Star Trek for that dumb writing where it's like no one thought about it more than like, yeah, that sounds cool and weird. Let's do that. Like, you know, but yeah, I love the person who just broke that down. Like, yeah, how do they do anything? How do they like say they're gonna go to the bathroom or whatever? Like they can't. You couldn't actually communicate that way without like some, like, how do you teach your kid the story? Like,
go to the bathroom is Sears back to school sale.
School sale.
Oh, yeah, on the left down the hall.
Yeah. What do I
school sale.
I found
when the walls fell.
I think I found your spirit animal. Right?
Mm-mm.
I think it's this little guy right here. Look at that cute boy. Look at that cute boy.
Mr. Bumpers.
Yeah,
It looks like he's under like a toilet or something.
This is like,
what is he getting smoked out?
He is. He's near the dryer vent and it's cold, so he's like, yeah, warmth. But
okay.
in my head, it's like Snoop's house, and this is just like the air vent,
Yeah,
like,
that's what I was saying. Somebody's like, making a fucking Dutch oven in there or something, and that dog's like, fuck yeah. That's Snoop Dogg right there. He's snooping around and he found the treasure.
Every time I see one of these, I just think about like, what was the one in Smokey and the Bandit? What was the name? Was it Fred?
Yeah, Fred. I always get them confused with the dog that was in Dukes of Hazzard. I think that was Flash.
Right.
Come on, Flash.
The line I remember is like, Fred, we ain't got time for swimming. Right? Like, and it's just the, like, like, he ate hamburgers and crap. Like, yeah. Who was that Fawcett, or was that, who was in that? Who was the lady in there?
And
Froggy.
Smokey the Bandit?
Yeah, who played Froggy, right? Aside Burt Reynolds.
Well, Sally Field.
That's
was
it.
That was the shit. But I think was it Farrah Fawcett? Cannonball Run is that dude. If you've never seen Cannonball Run, that has like it's like that movie. It's a mad world, only kind of updated for the 80s. Yeah, and because it had everybody in it, and I'm pretty sure everybody on that cast was drunk during the filming.
Oh, for sure.
And driving.
Oh,
yeah,
Have you ever watched the Orson Welles, like Ma the French Champagne? That video where it's like take 102, like Ma. The French excellence.
Up.
Like, yeah, he's so drunk. Like, and I know that some point, like about the 10th one, about the 10th time he's had to drink a thing of like champagne. He's like, you sure we don't want to like switch out for like the fake champagne? No, I'm a method actor. Like, like, yeah, exactly.
It must
take
be
102.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like.
I'm pretty sure he was fucking up on purpose just so he could get loaded.
Just so he could get free. Yeah.
Well, not only free, getting paid to get loaded.
Yeah.
So that's even better. Yeah, hell yeah, I'm gonna fuck up every time. I was like, oh, okay, I got it this time.
I got it. You think that's like Nancy's MO too? Like just the craft services table. Why is it called the craft services table, by the way? What crafts are there? Like, no one's there making paper mache or anything like that. Like, there's no craft at the craft services table. Like, where am I gonna get my little fuzzy ping pong ball things and like pipe cleaners?
I think initially, they used the first food that was served was Kraft macaroni and cheese. But that's that could be just something I totally made up.
Yeah, probably.
I'm pretty sure it is.
It's possible it's made up, but
you're a multi-million-dollar actor. You're celebrated around the world. You could give people fucking macaroni and cheese. What the hell, man? Fucking cheap ass fuckers.
But what do we got? I got I think another spirit animal, right? This is when you're too high. You're like, man, I smell something. I'm really hungry. I thought, didn't I make something? Oh yeah, toast. Like toast. Shit. I remember like
now cats will learn shit. Like,
Yeah.
obviously that cat will never get on that counter again as long as that toaster is nearby. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If the toaster's gone, the cat might come back. But so obviously that was probably the first time that cat's been up there, and then all of a sudden, boom, you know. Cats are so fun, man. Do you have oh yeah, you have a cat, right?
Yeah, Jordy will show up at some point probably when he decides he's cold enough to like, hey, you have lots of body heat. Can I borrow?
I know, right? Fucking little heat moochers.
Yeah.
I see. It was funny. Like a lot of the live streamers that I watch, like those folks have cats. You know, like Misty's got cats. I can't remember. Jerry from Chicago Corner.
Yeah, he's
got a
Oreo
cat
or
that'll
whatever.
just come up there. And the cats have come up there. It's just a tail, just
Yeah.
walking by the screen every
So
once in a while. It's fun.
Cats do this thing called mirroring, right? So like if I put this chair at some point, you know, probably doors closed, but you know, somebody will walk through and let him in. But he'll like sit like right there on the chair and just like stare at the computer, right? Like, oh, that's what we're doing. Cool. You know, like, you know, and just for fun, occasionally I'll throw up one of those like stuff for cats, which when you're high is also great. You know, like it's just perfect. It's just like, oh, birds are cool. Squirrel, like, you know, and just the fucking cat. I swear my cat just like, he just looks at me like, this is cool, but I kind of want them now. Like, why aren't they here for me to murder? You know, so. But
what is that thing they do? Like I had two cats, and they would look out the window, they'd see a bird, they just go.
Yeah, so I think that those, I forget they have a name
like
for
cat
that.
Morse code or something.
Yeah,
it's cat Morse code. It's like they're trying to talk to the bird, and the bird's like, I don't understand the fuck you're talking about. The fuck. The cat's like,
there's a new subreddit on Reddit called I think it's called Greebles. Right, which are the things that attack cats out of nowhere that you can't see, you know. But like, you ever see that cat is just like suddenly like, you know, just like chug at it, like, you know, swat nothing.
You ever see the cucumber and cat videos?
Yeah, they think they're a snake.
Kind of like big in the.
Yeah, they think they're snakes. Yep.
Yeah. And you just put it right there, like the cat will be eating, you know, like head in the bowl. And you just set that cucumber right next to it, you know, not throw it or nothing, just set it there, and that cow just
like I had,
and then they'll just when they go straight up, oh, it's the best.
I used to live in Live Oak, right, and we lived like right there on like I-10, right, and we had like a little lake, like we had like 6 acres because it was like super cheap there.
Nice.
Right. And, you know, great spot for like just enough for like a dog to really run around and be like fine and whatever. And, but we had a cat show up, you know, like a stray one or whatever. And like the dog had treed it. Right. And like, I just went out there and like got a blanket and grabbed it. And it was like straight up like wild cat, like, you know, but anyway, we kept that cat and like we brought it inside and, you know, kind of tamed it. It was never really tame, you know, but like it only came in like and got in bed when it was like super cold. Otherwise, sometimes he'd be out like, you know, it was like outdoors cat. So, we had hawks, right, that would like parole the lake, right, and you know, occasionally like a particular season, and there'd be a couple of hawks show up. Right. And we had like this little clearing that like went down to the lake where there like wasn't any trees. It was like grassy and nice and whatever. And I could just see the little fucking cat bit bopping right all the way to like down the thing. And then I just see the shadow and I'm like I've seen that before. Cat like gone. Right. Anyway, Frankie Sharp-Tooth Longclaw fucking came around and just fucking went bah, like just smacked like in midair, just like. And it's like classic, like the bird just like nosedived and like skid across, like the ending of Air Force One, just like, like,
oh nice,
you know? And it was just like, and the cat just like bit bopping his way, like, you know, like I was like, damn, okay, like yeah, like But it's just the fact that like he could even like feel like he must have just felt that like the cat's gods were like, you know, yo, bro, you've already used your life debts. Like you're already up to like 9, and you know things coming. Like they called him on his like cat phone real quick. Yo, you know, like Steve's coming, bro. Like
the spider, the Spidey sense, but it was the cat sense. It's like shit's coming.
Yeah, like oh
hit
god.
Right.
And it was just like it's just like he just button mashed on the like controller and just like pop like caught that thing with like he did like the low kick spin and then like pop, and it was just like, dude, I would never saw that cat the same way after that. I was like, that thing just took on like a big hawk and was just fine. Like didn't even like think about like what, you know, that thing could have murdered it all the way to Sunday, but you know.
Well, the hawk was probably like, oh, you know, hawks probably aren't like that smart, and probably thought it was like a squirrel or something like that wasn't going to attack back, right?
They're expecting impact. They want impact to land, right? So that they pretty much kill the prey by just like brute force of just talon, bow, like, you know, so. Like
and they're coming in quick too. That's like,
they're flying. They're like going 30, 40. Like they dove down, got speed,
dive bombing in there.
Yeah. I saw one the other day on, I think it was Reddit pulled a Nat Geo or something, and it was like this goat that had gotten grabbed by one, right? And the goat's defense, because goats are like, he just like throws himself down the cliff, like they're on this big like rocky mountain, and it's just like, how do I get this bird of prey, which is like twice the size of the goat, right? And like the thing could literally pick up the goat and like run away with it, right? Those things grab monkeys out of trees. There's a video Rogan talks about all the time where it's like two sloth buddies are just like chilling out, right? And then just one of them's gone, and it's just like, Dave, where'd you go, man? Like, I'm like. Just gone, like
that sloth's looking down. He's got a joint in his hand, like
oh fuck, man. Dave was here last week, man, but I don't know what happened. You know,
sloths have to be nature's stoners, man. They've got to be. They're slow.
Oh, that and koalas,
and they just look.
Koalas
they just look high as
way,
fuck. That they all. You look at their eyes, they're just like what, and they're always eating shit.
Did you know in Australia they have to actually take fingerprints of koalas because koalas have fingerprints similar to humans? And they were like, during crimes, they would like get fingerprints and be like, who the fuck is this? You know? And it's a fucking koala, like, you know, that it just like rolled through. There's like rules where you have to like, if a koala asks for water, you have to give it water. Like, and koalas literally learn to be like, water, you know, and it's like, here you go, bud. And he's just like, like, you know, like he'll drink right out of the bottle and stuff, you know.
Is it true that koalas, they're like so cute and cuddly, but they'll like give you chlamydia or something like that? Or is that an urban myth?
There's the classic myth of the drop bear, right? So I'll you know, tell an Australian look out for drop bears, and they'll so yeah, like artistic depiction of a drop bear. So the theory is like it's a predatory carnivorous version of the koala. The imaginary animal is commonly spoken about in tall tales designed to scare tourists, while koalas are typically herbivores. Drop bears are described as unusually large and vicious marsupials that inhabit treetop and attack unsuspecting people, right? When not beneath them, and they like fall down. And so the origin that I know of, right, is that you know, when Australia was like a prison colony, right, which Florida also a prison colony, so the parallels are not, you know, missed on me, right? Like Florida man and Australian man are almost the same individual, but what they would do is they would go out and they would like that these things existed, right? And that they like eradicated all of them, right? So, you know, just as a colloquial greeting, right? That like, you know, hey, look out for drop bears, right? You know, aha, you know, we killed all those. Like, but if those were real, they'd be terrifying. That's like, what do you think the scariest animal is? Because there's a couple of them that I'm like, you know, freaked out at.
You know,
that are unusual.
I mean, like, when I watched the what is that DiCaprio movie where he got attacked by the bear, the grizzly bear, was it the Revenant?
Yeah,
that
bears are
shit scared the fuck.
Imagine one of these.
They're so huge. Oh.
Imagine one of these like 8 foot tall though. Like
that'd be cool.
They'd be every little time I see, you know,
they look like that guy looks like from Space Ghost Coast to Coast, like he should be playing like some keyboard or something like that.
Right. Well, I think the Space Ghost guy is definitely manted like.
There he is right there, the fourth to the right.
Yeah, this
on
one.
The top. That's your boy.
Yeah.
I'm the Mantis. Oh my
god.
But Space Ghost Coast to Coast was such great stoner.
I can't ever watch
what,
like you have those David Attenborough. Yeah, those David Attenborough things. Like this is another mantis, right? This crazy, like alien,
what
Starship Trooper looking.
Hello,
like,
my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime gal. Send me a kiss.
That's
wife.
This one. Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling. But you know, like there's
that's
a bunch of
a fabulous one.
Yeah. No. Here we go. Yeah. That's mantis.
What
in
the
there.
hell is that?
Mantis, right?
Okay.
You see his little hook arms in here, right? And he comes down here.
It looks like he's wearing a prom dress or something.
Yeah.
Look how
the mantid family. Here's a pipe someone tried to make out of one. But mantids are like they're designed to they're camouflage. They're ambush predators, right? Mm-hmm. So there's a bunch of these. There's one that looks like an orchid. Right. Yeah. Here we go. The little orchid ones. Right. See this one?
Oh shit! That looks like a straight up flower.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
That's crazy. I've never seen that before.
Yeah. The ones that I can't watch though are them eating their prey because they eat them just alive. Right. They just like start munching away and they got like tiny little mouth parts or whatever and they're just like meat like little nibbles and then just like you can see the bee just like help me like. You know, whatever the fuck, like, it grabbed and you're just like,
fly.
Damn, nature, you scur it. Yeah, like, but and all I can think of is like, I just want one horror movie where someone's like, they got radioactive 9 foot tall mantises, and I guarantee you it'll be ridiculous because these things are designed to do crazy stuff. Like look at look at this one. Like this one does kung fu. You know, whoo, like this one is kung fu mantis.
He's doing the crane.
Yeah,
the crane going.
Well, it would be. Look,
he's got one leg up.
Mantis style, right?
That's a fucking crane.
Like mantis style, but like all these, some of them have like, you notice how like some of the hooks go this way and like some of them go that way, right? Like they all have these different little like front grabby bits. I think they're very similar to a thing called. I don't know how close they are as far as like genealogy, but these guys, Mantis Shrimp, all AKA, here in Fallout, they have a mutant Mantis Shrimp, apparently, that's like 9 foot tall, right? But Mantis Shrimp, there's a couple of different kinds of them. There's a little boxing one, right? But they're a little predatory shrimp, and what they do is that they have these the pistol one particularly, right? This little guy, the pistol shrimp, right? Who is a derivative of the same thing. See this like that one's versus, but the mantis ones I think have a similar mechanism, right? But essentially this little guy, right? So he's got a thing in there that causes a vacuum, right? So then it cavitates, right? So you form a vacuum in water. Water's going to want to do what? Fill the void, right? So then you get a secondary explosion because you've collapsed the vacuum, right?
Right.
So he's essentially in that arm. He forms a vacuum. It cavitates, and then it's like, bah! Like, you know, it like literally explodes out. He's got like pneumatic, explosive like armor essentially, so that he can like pew a thing of water at you, right?
Jesus.
But they have a couple of these that are just like, one's got like a big boxing, like two big boxing gloves. I think they're called like, yeah, this little like Mantis Shrimp guy. There's a couple of them that just have like little boxing gloves that they hit people with essentially. But it's all derived off that like skeletal like cavitation stuff. And I think this Mantis Shrimp guy, his claws are like similar, so he can just like bop you really hard. And Pistol Shrimp, like if you ever put your hand into one of those tanks and get popped by one of those, you're like, ah, motherfucker, like, God, like that sucks so much. Like, you know, it's like a crab like pinch, but on steroids. It's like ridiculous. But
Jesus,
dude, my mother, who's a marine biologist, always tells you like the worst. Like, have you ever heard of the bobbit worm?
That sounds familiar. I've heard of it.
Versus a mantis shrimp. Do we have video of this? Probably. Like, so this little worm guy sits in the ground, right? And he'll just fucking grab you, right? Whoop!
Oh shit! Like that thing out of Star Wars.
Yeah, like it's literally
right.
Sarlacc,
yeah, it's a fucking Sarlacc.
I mean, but watch how far he's gonna come out to get this one. Where's he at? I'm trying to see where he's at. But they can like sense water currents above them and stuff.
Yeah, this is nice. I'm just hanging out, having a good time.
Yeah, but that's
look at that face.
Did he get got? Yeah, they're definitely zoomed in on these is even worse. But I'm waiting for him to get grabbed. SpongeBob is like, no.
What the hell is that?
But here we
I
go.
look like a dick.
From the Smithsonian.
Like cock.
Why is it? Go back. They're like crazy long, bro. They're like, they've been known to have like 6-foot bodies and like stuff like that.
Jesus.
They'll like come out and grab
like
shit.
That.
You know, like if it shows the like full length of them, which I think it does in a second, but yeah, these things are craziness. Like
that's why I want nothing to do with the ocean. You know what I mean? I like the beach. That's all well and good.
Like imagine if that thing was like 2 foot wide, as opposed to like silver dollar size. Like 2 foot just grabs your foot and drags you down, and like, you know.
There's
like
all kinds of fucked up shit in the ocean, dude. like jellyfish and shit. They'll sting the fuck out of you. There's like, you got moray eels.
Let me tell you about
stuff.
The worst jellyfish experience I've ever had. Let's see if I can find. Where is that at? Is it in Daytona?
Man, fuck the ocean.
I
don't let the critters have it. Just give me a nice pool, with some there's some cocktails.
There's a spot over on the east coast of Florida, and I can't remember the exact name. It's something like, it's either Fernandina or Daytona or one of those beaches over there. But there's a little state park over there, right? And they've got like a little like they've got like a fucking like a rock wall essentially that goes like out past the so it forms a little like crescent moon thing, right? So you get like a little shallow bit in there, right? And it's essentially, they made it so that they can have like snorkeling and stuff over in there, right? And it's gorgeous generally. Like you get nice like crystal blue water, and you're in there, and there's like big angelfish, and super fun, right? Except when it's jellyfish season, right? You see the Atlantic has waves, as opposed to like the Gulf, which doesn't. Right?
Right.
Like, there's
yeah.
a lot of winds
Mhm.
fall or whatever the fuck they call that on that. So like, think of all the jellyfish that are getting bashed up against this rock wall, right? And the rock wall has like water that can move through it, right? So now that entire
Mhm.
cove you're snorkeling in is now filled with the tiny stinging cells of like thousands of fucking probably dead jellies, right? So,
Ugh.
you know, the thing is that you don't notice it at first, right? You go out there, you're swimming, you're having a good time, you're pulling your mask on and off, and like, you know, and suddenly your dick starts to burn and your nipples start to burn,
Oh.
and you're like, what? And then your entire body just starts like what the fuck is going on? Like, and it sucks. It was the worst. I like,
Oh.
you know, and if you had like a shirt on or
Yeah, 'cause,
whatever, it
like-
just like trapped all of it, and you know,
Oh,
so
Jesus.
it was bad, and it's like
I've-
microscopic shit. You wouldn't be able to see it, like, you know,
Right. And like normally, like, because in the Gulf they have the jellyfish too, but it's like, you know, it'll usually just keep the sting to one location.
Yeah.
Right. Like usually your leg or something like that. But that shit where they're all fucked up, bashed up, and all their little poison pills are all over the place, and you're in there just like la 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 la.
One of these times, if you ever make it out to like where I'm at, right? Every year we tend to get these like let's look at
That shit is cool.
Yeah, like
that
these,
shit is so cool.
Like where it's like
that's
the
some
algae,
alien shit.
The algae is essentially a bioluminescent algae bloom, right? But like
yeah,
you know, like
so
the ones that are like you walk out there and put your hand in the water and it lights up like this, you know?
Wow. That looks like, so alien,
it's
man.
Like fucking Avatar, right?
So cool.
Like
right.
You know, but it's dope to go out there and like see it, and like we've got little like ghost crabs and moon jellies, right? Which I think
those are cool too. I like looking at those. I love seeing videos of that shit. That's just like they look like just floating little Christmas ornaments in the water.
Yeah,
just like
they're actually
the glowy.
Over here, California, which I definitely suggest people check out this channel for just like you got people over, and I know TYT used to use this a lot in their like streams. They use the other one, the because Monterey Bay lets them, but like I wish they had like a nighttime version, but you know, because these things are like bioluminescent and super cool, right? But this is the classic, like the sea nettles over there, but are like gorgeous. Like, you know, you could sit here and just watch this for fucking hours. You know,
there's a lot of beautiful creatures in the ocean. It's just like you know, like I see these videos of like people swimming with like blue whales.
Yeah.
You know, and that just like freaks me out. It's just like you're right next to a submarine or something. These huge, and these are huge. I mean, blue whales, you know, they just eat fish, like, and maybe not even like plankton or something, I think.
Yeah.
Krill. Yeah. And, you know, so they're not going to hurt humans, but me, I'm just like, fuck, man, this bus is, you know, out here. It's just so weird. There's, I think it's one of the museums here. It may be the one of natural history, and they have like, they have like a blue whale up there, and it's just like just the
skeleton is like massive. Yeah. Like,
you know, but I guess they, you know, did like, you know, put the form of the whale around it, you know, like it's, I guess like taxidermied or something kind of thing. And it's just like and it's in this big open area, right?
Like,
and it's
hanging
from the ceiling.
Yeah, like
and it's just you look up at it and you're like maybe like a few floors up, and you're looking out at it, and it's just like the most craziest ass thing you ever seen. I don't like the tourist traps around here, but I love going to the Museum of Natural History here. That is just they got some crazy shit.
Let's see if I can find. This isn't anything I want, but it's all delicious. Where is This is from, let's see if I can find it. This is, it's going to be forever for me to find. Do I have it saved in my, like, Reddit? Do I? But there's the classic clip of this guy, who's doing one of those, like, what the hell do they call that? Why can I not see where my saved are? I hope this is saved. Why don't I just go here so they have it saved as a bookmark? Right? Yeah, because I had a few more for tonight anyway. Pull up some more stuff. But for boats crashing into the boats, but it's this one I did say.
We got bagels.
Which I just feel like it must be every New Yorker, like every day, right? Let me go back to presentation, right? So this is
bagels.
Again, Red Alert Media covered this whole thing because they get sent like just VHS tapes, right? People send them in like unmarked, like, or like someone's taken the sticker off and like it's been in the like Blockbuster bin for like, you know, forever. And then these guys get it, like, it finds up at their door, and they're like, I guess we'll figure out what it is. And it'll be some, like, promotional thing from, I forget who this guy is. I wonder if there's any, but it's just this guy, and he's, like, at a promotional meeting, and he's telling, like, Dunkin' Donuts and whatever, and all these other people, like, I'm sure Indy knows his name, and, like, will be, like, you know, no, it's this guy. How do you not know who that guy is? Right? But, like...
We got bagels!
Woo! Like...
We got bagels! Whoa!
And I just want to walk into any bagel shop every day. Just like, you got bagels? Woo! Like, you know, every time, like, it's such a, like, in the thing, it's like not even, like, none of them sell bagels. He's just talking about, well, you got a new product, bagels, and you gotta market it. Like, we got bagel. Like, he's just talking nonsense, business talk.
That's what I like. What?
But
like fun.
Like, I do like a good bagel. I wish I could get good bagels here. I saw Bert found a bagel place when he was here in Tallahassee, and I need to go look up what that was again. I gotta go look in Bert Kreischer's Instagram and scroll through to like find which place he was at. But I didn't want to. Isn't your wife Filipino? Right?
What?
Was
no?
Which one was it?
Chinese.
Oh God, I'm dumb.
What?
Anyway, here's Filipino guy doing the best Optimus Prime impression I've ever heard. Right? And he's so excited.
Oh, it's the Optimum Prime!
that noise. Yeah, I love that. Like,
oh, it's the Optimum Prime!
I saw another video of this same guy, same truck. Like he stopped. He like pulled over and like followed the truck at some point. But like the one I saw earlier was just on the road, and it was the title was just when you see a Peterbilt for the first time. Like, you know, that's what it was.
Oh my God.
But what else I got? I got a few.
What was that? There was a Family Guy episode, and they had Gregory Peck of all people. He was auditioning for Optimus Prime, and he goes, "I'm a robot. I'm a truck." So every time I hear about Optimus Prime, I always think about that. I'm a robot.
You can hear my feet, okay, right?
Oh yeah, you sound divine.
And I just mean the stuff that I'm playing as well. Want to make sure that you can hear that. But
yes.
Come here. Whoa. 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 Whoa.
Bow.
Whoa.
Bow.
The cat
Give me
lost
another.
its meow.
Mow. Like mow. I just love how like low, like who? This is like the Barry White of cats. Just like what?
That cat
makes
looks. That cat
noise?
looks fucking.
Wow.
That cat looks stoned. Look at his eyes.
Wow.
That is a fucking stoner cat.
Wow. Like I don't understand at all. Like, but I do. There's one I always remember where that someone overdubs a cat with Markiplier's cat sound, and it's a whole video of like Markiplier going over a cat and just like meow, like just over and over again. But
I love that guy's videos. I love his I've watched all his he played like every version of Five Nights at Freddy's. Nice. And it's just his over the top scared of shit, because it's like it's corny, but it's kind of a spooky game, and he's just like, oh! Don't hit me, don't kill me, Freddy, don't kill me, Freddy.
What do we got? I got bagels. I've got Vixen's Gentleman Club, help wanted, nobody wants to twerk anymore. Just like the average exotic dancer salad in the US is 49,000K, tips included. But like I just thought this was funny that even the like strip clubs are having trouble finding like employees, like,
if they would have taken out the word "to," it would have said help wanted, nobody wants twerk anymore.
Oh, I see what you did there.
And so, but it works both ways. It's just, that's just me being budgety with the letters, because those letters aren't cheap.
Yeah.
No,
and especially when people take them and make funny names out of stuff you already have, and
yeah.
like.
There was this place. Oh, you'll love this. So on Courthouse Road in Gulfport, right?
Yeah.
Courthouse and Pass Road. They had the movie theater over there, and then across the street from the movie theater was this place that had this unfortunate name of the House of Arts. And it had one of those kind of signs where you could move the letters, so people kept moving the F over, and they kept making it the House of Farts. And people did that for years, and then finally they changed their name to the House of Crafts, and we were very sad, like the end of an era. But those signs are dangerous. You can't have letters that you can take and move around, because shit, that will happen. It's gonna happen.
I think I need this one. I'm just like pulling up stuff that I thought I had pulled out already, but it's just a Carlton sweater. I was gonna send this one to like I made fun of Sabs for her sweater the other day, right? And now I want to get her one of these like I put like, nah dude, sweaters are super cool though. Like, and just put Carlton dancing, right? Like in a sweater. And now I want to send her the Carlton Christmas sweater. I have to like put it up so people can see. But,
I bet she'd wear it too. She would do it for you.
Guaranteed. Like I would wear this. Are you kidding me? But
she would be on. Now, my friend Reef Breland gave me this beautiful sweater. Some people say it's ugly, but I don't think it's ugly. I think it's beautiful.
Yeah. So
she's very sweet.
This just pulling stuff out that apparently I didn't grab. New York stuff, but
this duck ran the New York Marathon.
Yeah,
that's funny. He's probably chasing some child,
right?
Trying to.
Look at the duckums.
Look at his feet. Did they make duck shoes?
He's got little boots. Yeah, he's got little boots.
Yeah. I was about to say.
Dude,
that's the fucking
duck boy. Like, does he run the whole marathon? Like, does he win? I want to know if he wins. Like, I want to see when he gets to the water cup spot. He's just like,
right.
Like,
he probably He'd pull a Jesus and just go. Wouldn't even
across the water. Yeah, like
yeah, you know, the
uh,
Jesus duck.
so shrimp are testing
Shrimps.
positive for cocaine, and scientists don't know why.
For
What?
cocaine?
Yeah, and then you know how many bricks been lost in the sea over the last 30 years? Like the shrimp be doing it. Like
Damn.
I love that.
Damn, look at them
I've
shrimps.
been eating these peanut butter cookies all week.
Peanut butter cookies, them nutter butters.
My
Right?
brother just moments ago very kindly informed me that they're actually dog treats.
Puppy
You can
butters.
see his reaction. How are these dog treats?
How are these dog treats? Only ate a few. Look how many he ate. Like, bro. You gotta be fucking high there. You gotta be like, you know. Speaking of which, what are you? I'll put something super relaxing for people. I love these little gifts, right? But these like perfect loops, right? Because you can just like,
Oh, that's nice.
you could just like loop them for like ever. But
Yeah.
like no
Nope,
mess.
nope.
But
Nope.
what are you smoking on today? Or did you eat your like
Yeah, I'm
medicine?
still on the edibles, and then I finished off that vodka from yesterday too. So that'll probably be the last time I drink till either like 2 or 3 months from now, or when Thanksgiving when Thanksgiving comes around. My girls' family has these little get-togethers locally, and we haven't done one during the big C, but we may do one for Thanksgiving. And her sister-in-law, she never says hi to me. As soon as I walk in the door, I say, "Hey, what's going on?" She goes, "You want a beer?" And then, because I'm her drinking buddy at these things, nobody else is drinking except me and her. And she's like, she's drinking red wine, and I'm drinking like whatever beer they brought. And oh, it's a good time. And then I'll be sober for like 2 or 3 months. Yeah,
like yeah. I mean, that's the thing is like, luckily I think that alcoholism gene skipped my, like the rest of my family, like sure, but my little like I got
a few
lucked
in
out
mine
somehow.
too. Yeah,
but I
was always able to put
Nikki,
it down. I could always put it down. Yeah.
Radical leftist agenda was like got too high and had to go get munchies. They had to go get food. Like sorry, it was munchies.
She had a stream the other day, and it was funny because I can't remember who it was. I think it was a turf. No, it was a tanky, and some and I think it was what's his name, propaganda dude, and
that's
I make
our
it
boy
funny because
Invalid was that's the tanky that debated prop or whatever. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. He's in the chat.
He was in the chat earlier. Cool dude.
So she had she had the two separate things of them up there, each with their own individual chats, and she had her own chat. I said, Jesus, got like 3 chats going on here. What the fuck's going on? And they were all like different things.
I only want to put like individual chats up. I never want to put just the entire like feed of like chat, because someone's gonna mess that up, right? Someone's gonna ruin the fun there, So
right.
But
it's a little distracting too,
It can
it's just
be.
like it's not on my shows because there's like, although last night we did have a few people in the chat, but when I first started out, that would have been easy because maybe like 3 chats the whole time.
You should be able to use what I'm using as well. I use Twidget, right? Which like what I have to do though is I have to go like pull the stream URL and like plug it in, and it like just for like YouTube or whatever. I think it lets you do Twitch too, but like then I can like select one, and put it up, kind of like how StreamYard lets you. You know,
do they have something in in Streamlabs? Because I'd love to do that, to pull out an individual.
I haven't looked at Streamlabs, but I can. This one's free,
chat.
so I can like get you this one, so you can like use that, because you really only stream
Well,
like
then-
YouTube, right? You know,
Right now, yeah.
Yeah.
But it was fun. I mean, and I get in these conversations with everybody on the stream, and it's like I forget that the chat's there because I'm not used
and it's
to
hard.
people.
Like we had to think about
And
it when me and Indy do. How did we miss that? We had to think. Well, like we had to wait. We had to like get through the story and then talk to people, because like otherwise you get like in the middle of it, like you're talking about some like just strike happening or whatever, and then you've got like Pussy Slayer 69 says that like
yeah.
it's like just I do like that when you get like one of those super serious like things, and they read like the tweet from like a brony gamer like 420 like
Right.
says that this is a really sad story and they grieve for it's just like oh god. But what else do I got? Go ahead.
I'm just so used to being in the chat,
Yeah.
So that there's the chat life, and then there's like the streamer life, and it's like when you're used to the chat life, and then you start doing the streaming, then you're like, well, wait a minute, I want to pay attention to the chat, but oh shit, I'm the show. I gotta, I gotta do this shit. I can't be like, like you want to split yourself up into two people, like have your chat person. It's like, yeah, fuck you, man.
Yeah. What else?
It's interesting for sure.
Skip a few and head to. Oh, bro, this guy's a trip, right? So let's back it up a little bit. Right.
What the fuck? Oh my god.
Oh, it gets worse.
Is that dandruff?
Yep.
Oh no. Wait a minute. What?
There's no water in it either. That's why he's the dry dab king. He does them dry.
He's smoking dandruff?
Ugh.
What? He looked like he was dry heaving.
Oh, well, take it easy.
He's like,
what?
what the fuck?
Take it easy.
What he was smoking dandruff, right?
Yeah.
I'm not crazy.
No, that was dandruff. Yeah.
God damn!
I know,
What?
right?
Who comes up with that shit?
Oh, fucking this guy. This fucking guy does. Like
That's like some Mad Lib shit. It's like you're filling out the Mad Libs and then he
Noun,
decided to smoke some
noun
dandruff.
Like, yeah. Yep.
It's
So
dandruff.
I've got I don't know if this music is allowed, but I'll turn it off. We don't need it. So this is a 3D. He's gonna 3D print him a little Joe there, right?
Yeah.
And he's gonna take it out. He's got all the supports. He's gonna take the supports out. Right. This is why 3D printers are super cool. We're gonna paint him up. Right now he looks like Joe. Look at that, Joe. Joe. Right? And then what do we put it on? We put it on as like so we can have all the hot air come out. Look at that. Like
Ooh, with recent events though, those holes are probably in the wrong place.
Wrong places,
maybe it should
yeah.
be like a little further down
little
south
further
into the
down.
back.
I do love how orange like they painted him though.
I know, right?
I do love
he's
that.
the he's like George Hamilton or something.
It looks like an Oompa Loompa. it looks like white hair and like orange.
I know,
like,
right?
Yeah, like
Oompa Loompa,
Oompa Joe. Where am I now? You're Busman Joe. Like, what is it? But you You know the thing. What was it?
You know
Boss,
the thing.
My president, my boss, right? Was it that what it? President, my boss. I feel like he's equally like. We're gonna be like having books at some point about like Bidenisms, like they had about Bushisms, just like But
oh yeah,
like
look fat,
and shut up, fat.
Right.
And but he's normalized.
You ain't black.
He's normalized fat phobia again, right? When will you people learn that fat shaming is wrong? You have a president that hates fat people. That's what Kanye's gonna come out next week, man. Joe Biden hates fat people. Joe
Biden hates fat people.
I want you to think about go back to when was that? Like 01, like when was Katrina?
05.
05, right? So do you know who was next to Kanye when he did that? Mike Myers.
Mike Myers. And that
the look on his face is just fucking like gold. He's like, okay then, back to you, Dave. Like, it's just like,
it's like two people in an elevator, and somebody just rips a fart, and the other person is just like, what do you say? I'm not gonna say anything. I just want to get out of here.
Like,
that's what he looked like. Yeah.
What else?
Bush hates black people. Baby.
I want that Kanye back. Can we have that Kanye back? Like the one who's like, Bush doesn't care about black. Like, just bring that one back, because Joe Biden definitely don't care either. So, So
I'll say
apparently
this about.
Apparently he did some crazy interview recently.
Trump was a crazy magnet. That's for fucking sure. Trump brought it's like if you had any kind of crazy in you, you were gonna be attracted to him.
I bring the best people. I bring so much good energy to the party. Like,
all this
so great.
All this craziness.
All this crazy. So good. You won't believe me. Like, that's how you know
it's like he
bullshit.
He dove into a Scrooge McDuck money pit of crazy.
Pit. You know what would happen if you did that? Do you know that like money is
you break your fucking neck.
Oh yeah, you'd break everything. Yeah, you'd be jumping
dead.
in there. Like, somebody did a thing where it's like they had a whole pool full of sprinkles. Right? Like it was like some Instagram thing that people could go do, right? And they filled a pool with sprinkles, and then they're like, all right, now jump in the pool. Like, it looks like you're supposed to be able to jump in it, right? But it's like you fucking hit like, wow, like you hit and like bounce and shit. Like, it's like, there's a lot of like it like compresses the air and then like whoop, but this is, have you ever seen this little gadget here, right? So you might not recognize it yet,
right?
So
these things are so cool. Oh, wait a minute. This may be not what I think it is.
Take that off there.
And it just fills up, and then you flip.
What the hell? Is the smoke going from that rotating cylinder into there? Is it just smoke?
So this is a gravity, like double gravity bong thing.
Holy shit.
You like light, I mean, they're using it culinarily because this thing's expensive as hell. There's a 3D printed thing that you can make that like makes this, which is super cool. But essentially you light up here, and then it's essentially a gravity piece, right? With like two unscrewable, like you can unscrew these, right? I think there's one to make it out of like a mason jar, is the 3D printed one, right?
Oh, cool.
But they have like kits for them. But essentially, like, someone figured out that if you bought that, right? Right? I don't know where this is going, but Facebook, the worst place on earth.
Ugh.
But yeah, here's Seth Rogen, right? He's got his little bowl version. You know, look at how milky that shit is. Like it's like yellow.
Jesus.
What did I do? Enlarge. How do I full screen a thing? There we go. And then just like,
holy smokes.
Yeah,
literally.
like, yeah.
Look at him choke out.
Yeah, he dies too. But I did have a bit of
holy
like,
crap.
Seth here. So
Jeez Louise.
Apparently Seth Rogen and Sarah Silverman, what just happened? Okay, there we go. Push for federal legalization of weed. We can make it happen. So big cannabis companies are backing a new celebrity-infused campaign to enlist marijuana users to pressure member of Congress to legalize pot nationwide. So there was apparently a Republican bill led by a rep out of South Carolina to like decriminalize and like stuff like that, right? And apparently people are like getting behind it. cannabisincommon.org, right?
Hi, I'm Seth Rogen, and despite what you may have heard, Americans can actually agree on something, and that something is weed. Recent polls show that more than 2/3 of us now want to legalize cannabis. You know who cannot agree on anything, though? Politicians. So despite the fact that 69% of us want cannabis legal, less than half of senators have come out in favor of it. In fact, some won't even say where they stand on the issue at all. With the Senate about to consider a landmark bill that would legalize cannabis at the federal level and wipe cannabis convictions from thousands of people's records, their silence could end up being the difference. But here's the thing about elected officials. They actually spend most of their time worrying about getting reelected. So when their inboxes and their phone lines are blowing up with constituents now, and let your elected officials know that legalizing cannabis is an extremely popular thing.
So I definitely suggest people going to that and trying to at least push that. How hard is that going to take you? Like we can just do it on camera, right? So what is this? Does it have a like link in this article so that I don't have to like type it out? And then can I put that link in chat for people? Would that be the smart thing to do? Right?
Yeah, maybe it'd be at the top. Maybe
you would think, right? Cannabis in common. Let's try there. Sure. Copy. I'll put that in chat real quick. There we go. Right. So, but like, what do we got to do? Are your senators on board? Select state, Florida. I guarantee you, both of those are not down. These two were definitely the most narky looking individuals right here. You know, they if they did it, they definitely did not inhale. You know what I'm saying? So
I did not inhale.
And then want you to put
I
your
will
email,
see you inhale.
all that stuff. You know, my issue with things like this is like, where is all those donations going to? Like, how are you actually going to do these things? You know, that kind of stuff.
Right.
Like,
there's going to be some fuckery in the mix. That's for sure.
What I think after this, like, you know, general strike stuff and things like that, I think if everyone's like quitting work, we should definitely also march for weed. The issue is, how do you get stoners to march anywhere? You know, that's the problem. Like,
what you do, this is totally how you do it. What you do is, it's kind of like in the cartoons. You get like that, you put like that little hat thing, and then there's a big giant stick that goes out in front of them.
You just put like a big Cheech and Chong joint like right out in front.
Yeah, like the big joint like hanging, and they're just like, oh, I must get it. Yeah, and they'll walk
Dorito
all day,
marathon. Yeah. Like,
right, yeah, you got a bag of Cheetos or something there.
Yeah.
It's just, and they'll go all day. You know, because they're gonna want those that weed and Doritos.
Yeah,
But yeah, check it out. You know, it's probably a good idea to check it out and see who's behind it and all that stuff. You know, I follow the money. But
this is something that me and Indy are probably going to talk a little bit about Saturday at midnight over on the Indie Left channel. You know,
that's
I'm
right.
sure Indie Left will put that in the chat somewhere. But I think he has something on. I've seen a couple of things recently with Boris wants mushrooms. Let's look at that.
What?
Yeah, so consider calls to legalize magic mushrooms, which that explains his hair for, you know, but you know, but we've seen this. We've talked about now the now recent like business influx into psychedelics, right? Where they're doing more testing and stuff like that, and we all know what that means. That means rich folk get to make money off something else we find fun, right? So, you know, I'm worried about that kind of thing a little bit. I just decriminalize it and move on. That's, you know.
Yeah, that's the only reason they would even allow that to happen is if they knew they could make money off of it. I mean, look at what's his name, the former Speaker of the House, that guy, the Tan Man, the crying Tan Man, and he's all up in the weed industry, right? He can't wait for that shit to be legal. He's
wasn't Bill O'Reilly like for years like putting stuff into like weed business and stuff like that. One of them, one of those Fox News, might be even be Tucker, but you know, this speaks to like what people were talking about it today about, you know, there's thousands of people still now locked up for this same thing. Right, and someone's going to start making money off of it while they're still in prison. You know,
right?
For selling, not even using, just selling. So, you know.
Well, I mean,
yeah,
illegal drugs are a good way to put asses in prisons too. You know, so for especially private prisons, you know, that sort of thing. So there's that hesitancy to legalize it.
What's your psychedelic like adventure? Jared R here has done ayahuasca at least. He said it wasn't fun.
It ain't for everybody. I've never done it myself.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's different ways you could get the ayahuasca tea, I guess, you know, and drink that. And apparently that's the most intense. You know, it's just like edibles. You know, it takes a while to kick in, but once it does, hoo boy. But you can smoke the DMT crystals too. And there's actually recipes online on how to make DMT.
Are there?
And yeah, it's like you got to have certain. I can't remember which chemicals you got to have, but
my friend would totally
fairly
love
easy to
the
find.
links for that. You know, if you could email my friend.
Somehow, you put like all this stuff together. And it's like some process you got to go through, and then you put it in the freezer or something, and then like when you take it out, all these crystals that form, and that's all DMT. And
growing your own mushrooms is fairly doable. You can get spores online, stuff like that. You know that movie Little Shop of Horrors? You just replace horrors with spores and then like put .com. There's a place.
Shop of spores.
Yeah, but
feed me psychedelics, Seymour. Feed me, Seymour.
I shout out to Matrix Genetics, who got me my first mushroom dose. That was cool. You know.
Those are good. Those bars
I liked them. I had the dark chocolate one, right? And I took about like 4, and really I could have even doubled it. The only thing is like, there's only like 8 per bar. Bar's like $50, so like, I was thinking like, you know, I mean, of course it's, you know, whatever, but like, yeah, I feel like we're like Kirkland brand Rogan with like, you know, have you done DMT? Like, you know, but like I wouldn't mind trying though. Apparently, like a lot of between ayahuasca and DMT, right? both of those and with mushrooms and stuff, apparently psychologically what they think is happening is that it's your brain is trying to like physicalize its own internal like problems and like thoughts and whatever. So it
and apparently people have similar experiences.
Yeah,
with,
that's what I was gonna.
DMT
So it's called
too. Like
ayahuasca gods is the classic. If you go look those up, right? And classics include the lizard people, right? Panther-like, cat-like beings,
machine
jesters,
elves,
right? Yeah, like machine. But it's all so. This has to deal with again. Schizophrenics have this thing too. Which is why when they tell people, like, they do studies of, like, DMT and stuff, and it's apparently very similar to, like, how your brain fires during, like, schizophrenic episodes and stuff. That...
Right.
A lot of these are... Go ahead.
There's a book by Rick Strassman, Strassman, I believe. And he did studies in the 90s, and he had a book called DMT, the Spirit Molecule. Right.
Yeah.
And it's very fascinating because he did these DMT tests in like a clinical setting, like everything was safe, like he administered micro doses of like, I think it was like 0.05 milligrams or something like that, very small. And he did these tests with a lot of different types of people, all kinds of personalities, all kinds of occupations and stuff.
I put in chat the movie, like
cool,
the documentary
cool, yeah.
for DMT, the Spirit Molecule. I don't know what rights are to play it here, right? I mean, it's an hour and a half,
but it's based.
But I should at least switch.
Right.
To this
I mean, the thing about it was that the most interesting thing that I found, like all kinds of different people, young people, old people, like blue collar, white collar, rich, poor type, right, everybody across the spectrum, for almost down to the T, they said they had like the same kind of experiences, like they, they would see all the geometric shapes and the colors, and then there was like this chrysanthemum type thing that
this guy looks like he's
opens
done DMT,
up. Oh yeah, he looks like he is DMT.
He is DMT.
But like,
I see they have Rogan.
The flower
in here.
opens, right? And I'm sure they do.
It's pretty good.
If it's from 2010.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a very fascinating study. I tell everybody, like, if you get a chance to read that book, and if you're interested in like DMT and stuff, that it's very, very it's clinical but fascinating at the same time. So I highly recommend that.
Yeah, he
is
the trailer.
That's your boy.
But this is when he had some hair left. This was like haired Rogan.
This wasn't too long after News Radio, I think.
Yeah. Alex Gray.
Have you ever seen that? Documentary Grass, and it's narrated by Woody Harrelson?
Yes. Yeah, that's about hemp, right?
That's from the 90s too. Yeah, well, it's about hemp. It's about pot. It has the story of like how marijuana got demonized in this country.
Paper mills, like Mexican and all that stuff. Workers. And there's also that, right?
Yeah. Well, the Mexican workers had come in, and during their breaks, they would smoke pot because for clinical reasons, like they were tired and it makes them relax and that kind of thing. They weren't trying to get fucked up. They was just like popping a couple of Motrin or something like that, kind of only give you a little happy to it. And they demonized the marijuana because they were demonizing the Mexicans,
right? And in turn, they also demonized the jazz guys who were getting their weed from Jewish guys who were like so. But yeah, even the word marijuana is apparently racist to some degree because it was used back then because it's like the Spanish word for it, right? Like so it's like they demonized it then, which is why everyone, what's your least favorite word for weed? That's
I don't know. Every version it seems always makes me happy. Like I'm like Pavlov's dog.
I
hear
have,
ganja. I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, I
don't know.
bone to pick with
Probably
pot. Pot to me is the worst one because it's always in some. It to me is said in like a disdainful way, like you fucking pothead,
right?
Like, pot, like you know.
Well, I don't like. Yeah, pothead, pot. Yeah, I guess that's probably the least favorite, but I probably use it a lot because it's just POT. You know, it's just I don't want to get flowery. I just want to say pot to somebody. But
yeah,
I mean, let's run down. What do you got? Pot, ganja, marijuana,
the jazz
lettuce,
cigarettes. Yeah, the jazz cabbage.
Tea. They called it tea. The jazz guys did.
Puerto Ricans I knew would call it abombao. You know, abombao. That's dank. Like it's the smelly, essentially.
Yeah.
But like.
But yeah. But like I said, I hear any version of that, I'm just like, oh, that makes me happy.
Yeah. Most of them are fine, but there's a few of them that like it depends on who's saying it. But like, you know, the old timers who are like, don't you go smoking none of that pot, boy. Like, you know, it's that to me, right? But yeah.
Right.
But yeah, the mushroom trip was interesting for me. Like I could have done definitely like maybe like 2 more squares on that. I think I would have been about right. You know, but
yeah,
like I think you got 4 things, so like I feel like doubling that would have been good. So take you know, double the squares that I did.
Well, I mean, how often do you do mushrooms? You know?
Not often.
Like
that was my first time. Was just that. So, but
that was the first time you'd had it before.
Yeah, and like I didn't know that the body highs were like a thing from that. Like that's what I felt the most. Like my mind was pretty chill. Like I wasn't like seeing shit or like, you know, whatever.
Right.
Like I definitely saw like some waviness and like my room is practically set up for like I mean it's like I've got like rainbow nonsense and like, you know, I can set all the lights in the room to match what's on my like computer monitor, right? And I just threw on like just random like, you know, just something that moved crazy or whatever. Like I think I've got a few of them. Where's my saved on Reddit?
Kitty, the stoner kitty.
Like I think I saved one of them somewhere in here. It was just like trippy nonsense, but where's it at? Oh yeah, here we go. Just shit like this, right? Let's see if I can make. No, wrong thing.
Oh, that's groovy.
Go back to my desktop real quick. Ooh. Do the things. Come back. Everything come back.
That music. I went away. What happened?
It's because when I alt tab.
I look beautiful.
When I alt tab, there we go. Just
I look
minimize
beautiful.
that. And then go to.
You know, sometimes I'll take a break from smoking or doing edibles or whatever, and then you know you have that first, you know, then you do it again for the first time, and you're like, it's like a whole new thing again.
Yeah.
When I do that, I feel like kind of like crispy and great and ready. I love watching shit like this. It's like those they look like those magic eye things. You ever see those? The magic eye pictures where you got like. You slightly cross your eyes or relax your eyes, and then you can see like dolphins and shit like that in there. That's pretty fucking trippy.
Yeah, I just have to set.
But some people can do it. Some people can't do it.
Which one?
I can do it. I see dolphins.
No, go away, Windows. Hope it's this
I'm
one.
hypnotized.
Turn on the thing. Turn on the thing. There we go. Let's do that. Lights change.
Jared.
And then, buttons.
Jared said, Jared said, I've done ayahuasca. I can attest that no one will do that one for fun.
Yeah.
But you know what? I want to do it right. Like if I ever do ayahuasca, I want like a shaman. I want to be done right. You know, I don't want to be just like, you know, drinking like ayahuasca, you know, flavor aid or something, or you know, putting in an RC cola and you know, I wanted to like, you know, I want to go down to like South America and get like an authentic shaman that knows what he's doing. And yeah, you know.
Is that the right one? I hope so. Let me full screen it real quick. So
That's right. The shaman in Peru. The shaman in Peru. That's right. That's what I wanted to do. I've been telling people that for years. I want to go down to Peru and get with one of those shamans, man. You know.
Which one?
Because DMT, like, if you smoke it, it's just like I said, it's like anything else. You smoke it, you get that instant head rush thing.
Yeah.
And which would be all well and good, but then it doesn't last as long. Because I've heard that if you smoke DMT, your trip I've heard it see like the most intense trip. The ayahuasca is probably going to be a little more, but that's like a long lasting thing. But like the head rush and all that shit, you're like, if you manage to, I think it's like if you manage to get there's like you take the first hit and then a set of things happen. You take the second hit, another set of things happen, and some people can't go past the second. They're just like, no, this is too crazy. And if you get to the third, that's the one you're supposedly go through the chrysanthemum and you go through the tunnel, and then you get to the other side and you're talking to the machine elves, or you know, like the future ghost of Danny DeVito or some bullshit like that, you know, just crazy shit. But you got to get to that third, you got to get past that third hit. You know what I mean? I mean, like, I think I've read up on DMT. I'm when Joe Rogan talks about that, I'm just like, point, ear pricks up like I'm a puppy.
So we got this one. I still think I have the wrong monitor, but I'm not sure. I think that one, maybe? Who knows? I'll go back. Stoplight sync. Bright.
What the hell is that?
That's a pipe, good sir. That is meant to be
like fishing pole.
Fishing pole. Yep.
You fishing for weed?
Yeah, I
going
wish.
Weed fishing.
You'd probably catch one, right? Like,
you know, in Florida though, like probably some planes have dropped some shit, you know, like to avoid the feds, and you know, you go out that swamp. You go down that swamp, old Boudreaux, with your fishing pole. Go out there, get you some reefer. The fishes are biting.
You see,
the fish is biting.
See, cartel left bricks here in the bayou. Like, I've been picking up swamp nugs since like fucking
swamp nugs.
Yeah.
If you grew weed. You grow weed out in the swamp, right? And it's just like this. It's like this swamp thing weed, you know, like, you know, you call them swamp nugs, and you smoke this shit, and you start turning green, and like leaves and shit start coming out of you.
Yeah, like
that'd be hella good weed.
Right, well,
that's funny though. I like that fishing pole.
That's good, right? I always like these like dumb joke ones. Like, you know, that's gonna break like immediately, like, but. You know, someone's gonna knock that off somewhere. You know, I want to know if you can actually catch a fish with it. Is what I want to know. But
maybe in an aquarium, like a little tank in your house.
Just like fish bowl. Yeah,
right, like a
margarita magnet one. The little magnet toys. Those ones, yeah. But anyway, we're right at 12:05, so
I think damn, 2 hours. That's crazy.
I've got one more to let you watch, and then we'll plug everything and kick everyone out the club. But
this has been a fast 2 hours, dude.
Isn't it though?
I was talking to Frank. Yeah, I was talking to Franco last night. I said, dude, we've been going an hour and 45 minutes. He was like, really?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, man. that's how this shit works. If the conversation's great, you have no idea. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, you're fine. Like, you know, it's dude, Franco, I love Franco. He's fucking cool. But he has he's just like right in the middle, like just woo, just like energy wise, you know. He's just gonna like he doesn't make things too much or too little. He's just like right there, like to the point where like
you know what it is.
Yeah,
I figured it out. I think while I was talking to him,
yeah,
that's his way of conserving energy because he can talk. He can talk in long blocks, which is great. That's why I like having him on. I like having like Fee and Misty because they're used to hosting shows.
Yeah,
and
they can take the floor.
So I don't have to do nothing. I'll throw out a little something, and they're like, boom, 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 you know, and I'm just like, this is the easiest job in the world. Yeah. And then, you know, but he's the same way. So I think that level he does that so he can maintain. Like he's a long distance runner. He's not a sprinter. Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah, yeah. I'm a sprinter. I get tired. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're good. Like my issue is usually like talking over like everyone and like finding out like, oh, you want to talk some? Okay, like cool. I don't have to do all the talking. Great. Like, you know, like most of the time I'm the one that's like, boop, boop, boop. Like, go ahead.
Well, and to be fair too, it's like you know, like when we use stuff like Zoom or if I use Skype or something like that, there's a delay factor too, and I'm still trying to work out. Yeah, I feel bad. Like I feel like I'm stepping on somebody and what I hear, and it's probably the same for everybody else, it's like what you hear, you're like, oh, okay, you think they're done talking. And then you start talking, and it's like, no, they weren't talking. You know, so
yeah, and part of that is just learning like the dance partner, right? Like you've got to you know,
learning riding the delay, like getting on a surfboard and riding the delay wave and making sure, you know, you're normally I'm trying to learn that.
Well, it's like in like real life, we could kind of talk while each other are talking and like it wouldn't matter so much, right? Like somebody else would hear both of us generally, right? Like, you know, I could interject a little thing and it not be, but like when you do it digitally, it's like it'll cut off the other person's audio and like, you know, but anyway, I've got last thing for tonight.
This beat is my recital. I think it's very vital to rock a rhyme that's right on time. It's tricky, tricky.
Probably should have made sure that gas was off before doing that. Like, bro, I love it's tricky, boom. Like, I love that. That one's good.
I think it's very vital to rock a rhyme that's right on time. It's tricky, tricky.
Like just the chaos of like I
get you, and you might appreciate this being a drummer because I appreciate like rhythm and stuff like that. Whenever you'd have that you turn that I guess that was the timer on the thing. Yeah, so you do that
right,
and then you let it go and it goes that tick 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 tick. It's almost like a metronome, you know.
You know what that's called?
And it's like.
You know what that's called? 60 beats per minute. So you set a timer.
Yeah.
Which goes, so now we're talking about 60 BPM. My band director used to be like, this is my favorite tempo. Like, just like locking into his like watch. You know? It was just the funniest, like. Tick, 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 tick. Unless you got the unless you got the like you can't have a Rolex and do that because that one's smooth. You can't that one's smooth. You need like the bip 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 bip. Like you need
the calculator watch won't work either. The calculator watch won't.
You used to have metronome watches. Like, those used to be things. But like
I do like the old school watches though. I do like a ticky ticky ticky. Even the ones you got to wind up. You know, I always like. They have some too now that their motion, instead of like doing this, doing the wind up thing, you just take your wrist and just like do like this. So like if you're a chronic masturbator, you never have to worry about your time being messed
like
up.
One with that in there, right? Or like you move it and it winds it for you. This is my like budget Submariner, right? It looks like a Rolex Submariner, but it's not a Rolex Submariner. It's Invicta.
That watch looks like you should have abnormal amounts of arm hair when you wear it.
Yeah.
And
it needs a laser on
maybe
it. Like, yeah.
And then there's somewhere in the vicinity is an alcoholic beverage and a pack of cool cigarettes.
Yeah.
So
you got to be careful about finding like cool watches, because if you become a watch guy, that's a very expensive hobby. You know, like there's some bad ones out there. So, you know,
I'm very clumsy too, and I've broken my fair share of
like
watches
faces.
just in conversations. And
That's
just I'll be like,
yeah, but man, the
talking
crystal,
about something, and
the
then
crystal face, man, the crystal face, it's durable, cobalt. Like, yeah, I've heard. What's funny is that your camera like blurred out right there, so you was like, and it just blurred, and then you came back like right when you pulled your wrist up. But yeah, I think my
camera does not like me moving around. My camera is like, you must stay still.
Like, trying to remember if there was anything else. Oh, superhuman AI. This one's fun.
What the hell?
What were you thinking about me then?
We just think that even though you're feeling alone, you still exist, and that is all there is to it.
Yeah,
Isn't
man.
that right?
Yeah. That's creepy.
That's not quite right either.
So it's two AIs talking to each other.
Do you remember what we're talking about?
These sounds like a couple of shit libs talking to each other.
We were talking about being lonely as artificial intelligence.
Just like robotic but trying to put on this personable face.
Yeah, like
it creeps me out. Do you think we're gonna have literal robot overlords? Do you think that's gonna happen?
I mean, I welcome our robot overlords. Beep boop, bop boop.
Well, you're gonna have to. Yeah.
Bop boop. You know,
you're gonna rebel against the robots. I mean, you can't.
I saw a thing, where it was like, it was in anti-work, right? That like they had what was it called? They were like, if CEOs can do all this as one person, wouldn't it be more beneficial to like automate that process? Like one person that does all this work. Like, we should just replace CEOs with robots. And you know, they couldn't possibly be upset about that, you know. But like, anyway,
I mean, what does a CEO do? What do they physically do besides sit in meetings and wreck people's lives?
Oh, I wish I could tell you, right? Like, I mean, they just walk into a room and point at a graph. It's going up. Cool. I'm gonna go home, fire some people, and then like walks out. You know, like, isn't that what Trump did? Like, you know, that's what they do. But anyway, whoever's the CEO
going up looks good.
Whoever's the CEO of this next company is gonna make lots of money with the new and improved wacky wailing flailing peen. Like I love that this is a thing. Like, whoever made this, proud of you. But like, you could just watch that for way too long, right? Well, go ahead.
It looks like was it the Jawas or the Sand People in Star Wars? The ones that looks like one of them having like a fit or something, you know, and just like, you know, freaking out.
Oh,
but it does look like a penis and a ball sack.
Did you ever been so high you called in sick to a place you never worked at? Yeah. Just to see what would happen? Hey, this is Steve. I joined last week. I don't think I can make it in this week. But yeah, there's a video of a guy doing that.
I think I did. I think he did that a few years ago, you know, pulling a prank on somebody. It's like, sir, I don't see you on the schedule. It's like, oh, is this Stop and Shop? No. Oh. Sorry. Wrong number. New phone, who dis?
Right? But yeah. Like, anyway,
the
I
Optimus
think
Prime.
The Optimus Prime. But like, Yeah, I think that's just about enough for us today, for the most part. I think people had enough of us yet, Warren.
No, there's never enough of us.
I
But
agree.
you know, you always got to keep them wanting more. That's the tip for showbiz.
Speaking
always
of wanting
leave
more,
them wanting more.
if they do want more, where can they find that at?
Look at that, the king of segues. Nice. Right? So I am at Extra Bulla. That's my show on Thursday nights live on the YouTubers. And I also do replays on there and on Odyssey. Just look for Extra Bulla on Odyssey. And I'm also W Dearman on Twitter, and Extra Bulla on Twitter as well. My War Deer Ent Twitter account, RIP, because I called Keith Olbermann a whore. And I wasn't the only one.
No, Keith Olbermann started it, right?
He called somebody else a whore, and not only they didn't take down his thing, he got to keep his shit.
We'll
anyway,
forever know that Keith
out.
Olbermann ruined your Twitter fun. So, you know,
I'm gonna get my revenge.
He'll have to own up for that at some point. Yeah, like
I'm gonna be like Harry Dean Stanton in Red Dawn when he was in the cage and all the boys were around, like about to head to the mountains, and Harry Dean Stanton said, "Avenge me, boys."
Jared wants to know what's that Odyssey channel again? It's Extra Bulla, right? On Odyssey.
Yeah, just do Extra Bulla, one thing on the search thing on Odyssey, or whatever it is, odyssey.com/Extra Bulla. They'll probably do it.
I think I have your YouTube and your Twitter that I can put in chat real quick.
Thank you. So next week, let me can I plug what I'm doing next week?
No.
It's some cool shit, man.
I said no. No, go ahead, man. Yeah, absolutely.
So Wednesday evening, I'm gonna be on Comrade Misty's show, bitch. That should be fun. She's been on my show before and we had a blast, so I'm pretty sure we're gonna have a lot of fun there too. And then Rick Overton next Thursday is gonna come on. Three's a charm. The first time he couldn't do it, something came up. The second time I couldn't do it because I couldn't fucking figure out Zoom. But we're past that. We've sailed those waters. We're headed toward the island there of fun entertainment. So he's going to be on next week, and he actually has a special.
Everyone should go over here on this Odyssey channel, right? And you see this button right here, everybody. You hit that.
That's me.
Right, and you make sure that you just are logged in, you know,
and hit this like button too, like, share, and subscribe, and spread the word about Reefer After Dark.
Yeah.
You're also on Midnight. You and Indy Left, part of the Independent News Network.
Yep. Definitely, and we will try to have a stream on Monday. I think it's Monday night. It'd probably be around, you know, what, like 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock Eastern, I think. Cool. So that should be fun. First stream at INN. That one's going to be crazy. We're just pretty much introducing everyone, but it should be a good time. And then we'll start doing the real streams. So I think I'm going on Lucy's Blue Moon Red Wine on next Wednesday. Talk about Second Amendment stuff. Means I actually got to do homework.
Right on.
I have this short history of the gun ownership in the Soviet Union. That'll be fun to go over and stuff like that. See how that goes. But yeah, go find Extra Bulla on Twitter, all that fun stuff. I wish there was a way to just turn off the. Oh, I think there is. If you press no, there's like a way to like turn this off. Your Twitter messages, so that like there's like Twitter streamer mode essentially. But let me grab this Odyssey channel for people, right? And
thank you.
Yeah, Monday night is the plan, I think. So you know, definitely go check out tomorrow there's going to be still a bunch of people, I think, doing General Strike Summit stuff tomorrow. You know, FHL working super hard, pulling that together. So go show them some love. Put a couple super chats in there. I'm sure they'll appreciate that. And I'm sure it'll be used for something good. So, you know, but
yeah, they're doing it 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Tomorrow and Sundays. So yeah, I was watching the promo they had for all the people that's on there. That shit's like almost 3 minutes long, and it ain't slow. It's like boom, this person, this person, this person. So it's just like so many voices. And that's what we need. You know, we need all these voices. We need them and more, you know, and the more voices we have, the more we can drown out the bullshit and hopefully break the spell that these people in these political cults are under, you know. Fingers crossed, you know, little by little we're getting there.
I'm gonna start out I'm like a new thing about how we end the show, right? You know, I don't think the Don Cornelius estate probably likes me doing peace, love, and soul. So I'm gonna have to change it enough. Right? And we're going to do from now on, when we go out, make sure everyone does all those things, go like stuff, go hit all those things for us, subscribe to this channel. I would super appreciate that.
Please.
You know,
yes.
Somewhere in the doobly-doo down below, there should be some link trees that can take you to some Patreon links, stuff like that. You know, we have like Reefer After Dark Goes to Amsterdam is still in the books. I want that to happen. So, you know, that's going to be fun. I would love to do Reefer After Dark when, you know, we can actually travel places, go places to do that. That would be super fun. People can just fund my vacation. I'd appreciate it.
Indy said you could use peace, love, and bowl.
Peace, love, and bowl. So now I'm going to do my new favorite thing, which is peace, love, soul food. Just to make people definitely go get the munchies after Reefer After Dark, you know? So some Korean fried chicken, go find you some of that somewhere or make it yourself. Super delicious. I'm sure there's, you know, Korean fried
I gotta tell you, they have
like
the Korean fried chicken here is oh my god. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I just had to throw that out.
But anyway,
if you go to New York, go to Koreatown, get the Korean fried chicken because
definitely do. It's delicious. I want some. But anyway, peace, love, soul food.
Soul